Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and this is a video of me ranking all the humanoid beasts from Beast Quest from my least favourite to favourite. Now with this list I've actually had a hard time trying to, decide what I would class as a humanoid beast. Because whilst humans are descendants from primates, that could mean I could, if I wanted to, add Claw, Tychron, Drogan, Durogan, Akira. Claw and Tychron I was most apprehensive about maybe adding because we are descendants from chimpanzees and they're the closest to chimpanzees. However, I chose not to as they're more of animals. They're closer to animals than they are to humans. As for the beasts I got here, what I class as a humanoid beast is if you have 2 legs, 2 arms, and a head along with a body that's roughly around the same size, then humanoid. It doesn't matter how big you are, muscle-wise or not. And there's only one exception here, which has a beast with multiple heads. But that I will explain later. There are some beasts here which were humans, which turn into beasts. I decided to count them. And also, there is a couple beasts here which I think might be questionable why I added. But I had some help from a few people, and one beast got added on. And I thought, okay, well, if that beast's been added on, then this beast, which looks rather similar to it, should also be added on. So, yeah, I got my list here. Whilst not all these beasts may look humanoid to other people, these are the beasts which I think look the most humanoid. So, like I said, I got 26 books here, and we're going from my least favourite to favourite. Please bear in mind this is my opinion, so if your opinion is different, please leave in the comments below which humanoid beast is your favourite. And that being said, we'll start with my least favourite, which is Rivera, ruler of the underworld. I have no care for this beast whatsoever. The story is mediocre, and according to Lucas's ranking, if that tells me anything, it's not a great one because it's in the bottom 5 of his specials ranking. With the beast though, this was my second least favourite of all the specials. Or third, I don't know, I don't really care. And I don't really like the fact her power comes from the moonlight and how many dogs she has attached to her hands. And she doesn't really do much else after that. She doesn't really have any physical strength. Just has to rely on her dogs to do the dirty work. And we know how she did in Battle with the Beasts. 25th place, we have Nanuk the Snow Monster. This one I was a bit apprehensive on adding though, because whilst she has all the characteristics of fitting in with a humanoid shape, I wasn't sure if I should add it on though, because at the end of the day, this is clearly based off a Yeti. But I did decide to add her on though because I'm fully aware there might be at least one person who thinks Nanuk should have been on this list. So yeah, that does explain why there's a fair amount of beasts here. But yeah, Nanuk is in 25th place. I do not care that the fact the fight is half a chapter long. I am really upset about that actually. The story, I will admit, is kind of good, but beast perspective wise, is not a great beast. So it was a bit debatable of me adding it here, but 24th place I think is a bit more questionable why I added it onto the humanoids list, and that's Arcta the mountain giant. Now, for those of you who know Arcta, you would know Arcta has one eye. Arcta is a cyclops. So whilst it is questionable why I have Arcta here, considering it's a Cyclops, I decided to add it on here because, like Nanuk, he fits in with a humanoid shape. but that's what Cyclopses and Yetis normally do, so I think I would have added it on anyway. Now, 23rd place, we have another beast which I was questioning about adding it on, but I decided to because well, trolls are also humanoid shape. Rashuk the cave troll is 23rd place. Now, like the previous 3 beasts, I do not really care much for this one. This is my least favourite of Series 4. And that's simply because I do not like its design one bit. Whilst I will admit its ability to turn things to stone with one slash of its claw is kind of cool, it doesn't save it for me. Now, it may look more like a troll, but I have Akira on this list, and Akira's an ogre. So I think it would be fair if I have a troll on it as well. So 22nd place, we have Tarik the Blood Spike. Now, the reason why I have Tarik here is because he does fit that humanoid shape. He's just a big green cactus with red with spikes all around him. There's not really much else I can say. His abilities, I do need to admit, are kind of good. Other than that, though, there's nothing really much else I can really say to really help Tarik here. Apart from he is the weakest point of Series 11 to me. However, I think Elko might be taking that cake for me. But yeah, Tarik I have absolutely no care for. But yeah, he clearly does fit in with the humanoid design. 21st place, we have Mercer the Swamp Man. I was very apprehensive on adding this one, but this one, like Tarik, fits in with the humanoid shape. Just covered with a green ooze with fire on its head. The fire could be resembling hair, but yeah. I don't know what I can really say to defend Merc apart from it just fits in with the humanoid shape. I don't really know why else I would add it here. But yeah, that's it. So, 20th place, we have Komodo the Arctic Warrior. The first beast on this list, the second beast on this list actually does fit in with the humanoid design. And the first one was Rivera. Komodo I added on there because Jack Griffin does like Komodo for the fact that him being captured at the beginning of the book is a unique twist. For me, it shows a sign of weakness. And that is something I can't forgive for a beast which I expected so much from. So yeah, that's why Komodo is my least favourite of Series 5. But also to add on, Komodo didn't really do that good in Battle of the Beasts either. Hopefully he'll do a bit better, but I won't hold my breath. 19th place, we have Kyrax the Diamond Warrior. Now, with this one, it's essentially like Komodo, but made of a better material. And has much better abilities. However, the reason why she's not any higher is because I simply have more nostalgia for the other books, or they are simply better. Not to mention, Kyrax does come from a series which I'm not really too fond of. Beast perspective wise and kind of story wise. This series was actually kind of disappointing for me. But Kyrax ended it on a good note. Not a great note, but just an okay note. But yeah. 18th place. Hold on. 26, 25th. 18th place, we have Flamar the Scorched Blaze. This one is most definitely based off a human. Because it's actually based off Kenza. This, in my opinion, is the most forgettable beast of Series 11. Whilst I... sorry, I need to get that. Bear with me for a second. Sorry about that. I did not think I'd be gone for that long. It was a friend of my mum's, and she's honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met. Damn, 12 minutes. Ugh. Sorry about that. But yeah, as I was saying, Flamar the Scorched Blaze was she does look well. While she's designed to look like Kenza, I've never been really too fond of this book, and she's the most forgettable of this series for me. Whilst Elko and Tarik I dislike with a passion, Brutus and Serpio I like a lot. Tauron is good. Flamar's just okay to me. And I don't remember much from her, apart from similar abilities to the next beast I'm bringing up, which is, 17th place, Helium the Fiery Foe. Anything such as burst into flames. This one was, I originally did prefer Flamar over Helium. I now prefer Helium over Flamar because I have more nostalgia towards Series 7 than I do Series 11. Whilst I will say this is still the worst beast of Series 7, I will stand by and say it's not a terrible beast. It's just not a good one. So I say it's just okay, God forbid, a bit bad. But it's not awful. When I was a kid, I actually kind of liked this book just by looking at the design. It looks kind of cool. But that's all I can really say about Helium, apart from, hopefully he'll do better than what he did in the old generation tournament. 16th place, I think it says. 16th place, we have Hexane the Body Snatcher. Now, I do actually kind of dislike this beast, but it's just barely a dislike, because I still kind of like all the beasts from Series 8, with Blood Bowl being my least favourite, and Balisk obviously being my favourite. Hexane was at one point my favourite of Series 8, and whilst he's no longer my favourite, he's still quite a good beast in my opinion. With the abilities being able to absorb animals up, which obviously I'm not a big fan of because I'm an animal lover. So is the friend I was talking to, actually, which caused me to be gone for a while. But other than that, net, trident, simple ability, simple weapons, but still quite good and very effective. Whilst he didn't make it far in Battle of the Beast, I'm sure he will do better in this tournament. 15th place, we have Ferric the Iron Soldier. Now, okay, the only reason why this is even on the list is because there is another beast which is coming up, which I added on because I wanted to add it on, and I felt like I had to add this one on then. Ferric has really nothing wrong with him. The worst thing about him, I would say, is the fact that he's not very memorable, in my opinion, and I did start off disliking him. But now he's just okay to me. Whilst he will nowhere near be my favourite of all the specials, he's just an alright one, in my opinion. And I do like he is talking as a group or unit, instead of with his henchmen, instead of just saying, I will be the most powerful warrior in all the land, and all that. 14th place, we have Araxed the Soul Stealer. Now, this one technically is classed as a bat or gargoyle, but at the end of the day, excluding the wings, it has legs, it has arms, it has a head, and of course a small body which fits in with all the other body parts. So, yeah, Araxed, I guess, is a humanoid beast. This one was the third special I've read, so I obviously don't remember much from it. It's still an alright book from what I remember. The beast was actually quite cool, and the fight was actually quite good. It was my favourite of Fedra and Crime on Spiros and Araxed, but Spiros is now my favourite of that batch. But Araxed is still quite a good beast. 13th place, we have Victor the Deadly Archer. Now, whilst at one point this was my favourite of part 3 of the specials, this is now still my favourite. Anaret and Ferric are still a joke to me. But Victor is still quite a forgettable beast. Those 3 beasts are not that good at all. But I will say though, I like that it's a beast riding a horse, and the horse is called a Sartor. And also his abilities are very similar to the weapons that Tom and Alina has, which are quite good actually in my opinion. If anything, a bit better. So yeah, Vixor is in 13th place. 12th place we have Akira the Crusher. Now, reason why I've added it on the list is because, well, it was a human formed with another beast, so that's the beast I was telling you about. And has 2 heads, so that's the bit of a push for me to add it on the list. But at the end of the day, he is a humanoid beast just with an extra body attached to him. I did find him quite entertaining to read with the physical strength and the magical strength as well, which is a good mix-up, and I thought would be a very good beast in the tournament, but then got defeated by Lipida. Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm hoping Akira will do much better in this tournament, and maybe he'll do a bit better. Hopefully, at least make us a round 2. 11th place we have Ocawa, the River Beast. This one was Tom's uncle turned into a beast, and that is the main reason why he's even on this list. I was contemplating on adding him on the reptilian list, but even if he was on the reptilian list, he probably will be on this list as well. Also, Vipero is not on this list, whilst his title says the Snake Man, and has some humanoid features. He doesn't have 2 legs. But Ocawa, though, was a human turned into a beast, and is fairly humanoid shaped, so I decided to add him on, give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, whilst I thought he at one point was one of the best specials, after reading the others, he just went from close to the top, working his way down, stops around there. So that's the problem Ocawa has. He's kind of forgettable in my opinion, because he's sandwiched between the first beast and Skolo, which I like Skolo, so... Going into the top 10 now. 10th place, we have Sting the Scorpion Man. Like Ocawa, was a human turned into a beast. That's why he's on this list. It was a alright finale to Series 3. Whilst it's not a great one in my opinion, and there are much better ones. Much better finales. Heck, we even got 3 more beasts here, which are great finales to their series here. But Sting stood out to me as a beast which came from a human, which doesn't deserve that fate. Seth has failed Malvel 3 times in total, and as a punishment, he was sent to die. But if he was revived or came back to life, then he'll be turned into this. He did not deserve that fate, and he didn't want that fate either, but because Tom was too kind-hearted and didn't want him to die, he suffered that fate, which is very unfortunate for Sting, but at the end of the day, Tom created this monster with Marvel helping. But other than that, he didn't really do well in Battle of the Beast. I'm hoping he'll do a bit better, but at the end of the day, it's just a giant scorpion. So, don't hold your breath. 9th place, we have Karaka, the Winged Assassin. Now, Lucas actively dislikes this book, and I believe it's his least favourite book, full stop. However, I actually kind of like it, though, for its design looking quite good, and yes, another human turned into a beast, so counting that. Spikefin is not on this list, by the way. Because Spikefin is doesn't have 2 legs. So. But yeah, as I was saying, design very good. Abilities not brilliant, but still quite good in my opinion. With the trident, flight, agile, sharp claws, sharp talons. Sharp claws, sharp talons are the same thing. Sharp teeth as well, and sharp horns as well. Quite a fair amount of good abilities. And I think this beast got a very bad end of the stick in the first tournament. But I will give Karaka more justice this time. And she will actually have a proper fight this time instead of just being an automatic lose. But yeah, that's Karaka. I do kind of like Karaka, I really do. And the fight, brilliant. 8th place, we have Jakara, the Ghost Warrior. Now, this one is a beast merged or fused with a human. which is the main reason why it's on this list, because it is very obviously a human. And if I was to point out something which I love the most about it, I would say it's story, actually. The story is actually the best part about it. Whilst the fight was good, ended on a kind of bittersweet note, the abilities are just okay, the design, okay. But yeah, other than that, I just need to say that the fight was good and the story was great. Sorry if it seems like I'm rushing through this, but because of how long that break I did away from the camera, I like to try and get this video up, and then hopefully I can get Lucas to cut out that time that I was gone, because that is a very long time I was gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 8 left. 8th place is Ospira the Savage Sorceress. Now, I do like my magical related beasts, hence why Akira was relatively high, and why Ospira is even higher. The design is very intimidating, very imposing. Abilities, whilst there's not that many, I still really like, especially the fiery spells. And the fight, I don't remember much from the fight, so that's not that good. But I do remember, though, that it involved everyone that's on the cover, even baby Thomas here. But yeah, Ospira, obviously Humanoid Beasts, so added it on. 7th place is Kyrax the Metal Warrior. Same reason for other beasts which have wings but have a humanoid shape, I had to add it on. But yeah, I'm not saying Kyrax shouldn't have been on this list. Kyrax is, Kyrax is probably one of the most overpowered, most broken beasts there have been in a Battle with the Beasts. With his ability of using the golden armor, but with his ego getting in the way of stopping him from using it, that was still good. Not to mention he has a bunch of other great abilities, and he can absorb metal. What else I need to say? I originally hated Kyrax, but now, because of Battle of the Beasts, he's now 7th favourite humanoid. Right. 6th favourite humanoid beast. I miscounted that. I just realised there's 6 beasts left, so this is 6. My 6th favourite humanoid beast. With specials, I would say just barely in the top 10. But yeah, that's Kyrax. 5th place, we have Zerkan the Shape Stealer. Now, I do really like this beast, especially with the healing powers it has, and how effortlessly it could climb walls. Anything negative to say? I would say the negative thing to say about it is the fact that it took me and Lucas so long to realise that the main villain was Zerkan. Which made us both look like idiots, but then again, we expect too much from things. We sometimes gloss over the things that seem so obvious. 4th place, we have Grashkor the Beast Guard. Now, this one I honestly really adore, this beast. And if Araxed was on this list, then I have to add Grashkor. But yeah, Grashkor I obviously prefer way more than Araxed. And I remember so much from it, and how dedicated it is in the fight. I believe the fight was 9 or 10, because it was willing to go down with the prison just to kill one person. Dedication, am I right? Now, whilst this piece kind of has a curse of being on that prison the entire time he's alive, and every time he kills himself, he just gets brought back to life. Which is quite good. Unfortunately, what brings him back from being in the top 3 is the fact that the other beasts I either loved from the very beginning or did really well in their respective tournament. So yeah, that's Grashkor. 3rd place, we have Croco, the Father of Fear. This one I knew was going to be in my top 3, and that's because just by looking at all of the beasts, I knew which 3 would be in my top 3. This one actually had Tom being the beast, and that was very good in my opinion. And it went really well. The fight was brilliant. The Abilities are still good, and the design is one of the best I've seen. Whilst it looks very imposing, and Croco is no longer my favourite of Series 24, that's not his fault. That's not anything to do with Croco that's bad. That is the reason why Croco is no longer my favourite of Series 24. Just how well Morax did in the new generation tournament is why Morax is my favourite of Series 24. But yeah, Croco, a great beast, really it is. And I should revisit Series 24, because the entire series is really good. But yeah, Croco, 3rd place. Now, 2nd place. Now, normally this is the part where I would say that I can swap the top 2 around multiple times, because both of these beasts are really good. But my number 1 spot is a beast which I adore so much. It's one that I like more than Torpix. So there's no competition which beast is actually going to be number 1. So 2nd place is Cobra, Lord of the Shadows. Whilst this beast was at one point my favourite of every single book I have, it worked its way down due to how well other beasts did in the tournament, and also the fact it is a tad bit overrated. Whilst I love the fight being throughout the entire book, the abilities are great, changing the background, changing itself, and of course a bunch of other stuff as well. Very, very deceitful, and the design looks brilliant. It is, without a doubt, a great book, and a great finale to the old generation. However, though, what I do need to say that pulls it down from being my favourite humanoid beast is the fact that number 1 is my favourite beast of all time, and that is Mortax the Skeleton Warrior. There was no competition which beast was going to be number 1. Mortax was the first special book I've ever read, and probably the first Beast Quest book I actually read, because I think I got this around the same time I got Convul and the rest of Series 7, and Mortax I think I picked up first. So yeah, Mortax was the first Beast Quest book I ever read, and it stayed my favourite for the longest time, and it still is my favourite. My opinion on Mortax will never change, even if it does terrible in the upcoming tournament. It's still going to be my favourite beast of all time. Worst thing that would happen, it gets surpassed by Torpix. Or maybe other beasts, but it's still going to remain in my top 10 no matter what. But with that, Mortax's fight and abilities are brilliant. Design is very good. If I was to re-review this, the design I would give probably an 8 or 9, which I know I did. Abilities and fight I would give a 10 to both of them, because the abilities are very good and can actually lead to the end of other beasts just by controlling them. But obviously, what Doctor Who said, you can hypnotise someone, scare the daylights out of them, but you can't hypnotise them to death. But you can control them to just stand there and do nothing. Whilst I would not be making use of that ability in the tournament because that would be stupidly broken, Mortax will be using his other abilities, gaining his strength from the amount of beasts that's in the combat arena, and of course his superior fighting skill and all that. Mortax, I think, is going to do very well in the All Generation tournament. But with that being said, that is all for my ranking. And that's all for this time. Now, whilst this video may have been very decisive on what beasts count as humanoid and which ones don't, this idea was suggested by that one quiet kid who commented on my reptilian ranking video. So I did that video because he would like to see it, and that's why I did it. If there's a beast that you think I missed and think should have been on this list, then please leave in the comments below which beast that was, and I will either say, I didn't think about that one, or I'll just say whereabouts it would have been. Just give an estimate, or just give my general opinion on that beast. But with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press this little notification bell down the corner below, and I'll see you next time.